Hello, everybody, and welcome into Senior Living Live. My name is Melissa. Thank you so much for being with us. Senior Living Live was recently on location in Delray Beach, Florida, where we have a new community opening up pretty soon. I had the chance to sit down with some ladies who will be moving into that community. They will be moving into independent living, and we wanted to share their stories here with you about what went into their decision process of moving into this brand new luxury community.
Hello everybody and welcome into the Arbor at Delray. We are on location at this fantastic community that is still under construction. You can probably see right over our beautiful ladies and their head. We've got a little maybe corner of the building that is up and running. We're getting the interior built up, under construction currently, but set for full move-in starting in 2023. And as this community started to come together, we have what we call a founders club. These are individuals who come together and said, you know what, this is where I want to live. And these three ladies, these gorgeous ladies who are joining me now, are part of that founders club. So with me here, I've got Joni, I've got Susan, and I've got Joan. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us and for agreeing to this interview.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so let's start first. We didn't just randomly choose three beautiful women. These are three beautiful women who are, again, part of the Founders Club, but have become quite friendly since getting to know each other. So I want the background of that story. That's what we're going to talk about here first. But I want to know your background. So let's get to know each of you before we begin that story.
I'm a Midwesterner through and through from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Married a husband that I met on vacation in Florida and moved to Miami, and 30 years ago decided to move to Boca Raton after Hurricane Andrew.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Good background.
Hi, I'm originally from Boston, married a man from Connecticut, and we've settled in Connecticut. Between us, we have 5 children who are, thank God, all grown, and many grandchildren. And when my husband decided to retire, we decided we would move to Boca Raton, Delray area, and we ended up in Delray, and my husband passed away a year ago this month, and I just decided I cannot handle a big house anymore and all the responsibilities that go with it. So I was looking around. I went to 9 different facilities, and then when my friend told me about Arbor, I took a peek and I said, I think this is for me.
I love it. And Joan, tell us about yourself.
Okay, I grew up in the Bronx in New York, but I lived my adult life in Rockland County in New York State. And I was married to my second husband for 32 years. He passed about 10 years ago now. And I worked throughout my life basically until I moved down here. And I was a teacher at first, then I got my master's in social work, and I was a therapist and did some other things with it. And I loved my life down here. It's just been wonderful these last, since I guess we were snowbirds 2000, and then 2005 we went down full time. And I loved it, and I loved the house I'm in. It was a house that I helped design, so I call it my ashram. But over the last 10 years, I decided too much responsibility. I don't want it. It's time to move. It's time for something else. And I have a wonderful life down here, and I didn't come here necessarily for a new life or new friends, but I'm getting that as a bonus. I came here just for no responsibility.
Yeah.
And I also went to 7 places, not 9, but 7
Wow.
different ones, and chose the Arbor. The Arbor looked like it had it for me. And I have to tell you that every single experience I have had since I made my deposit has just confirmed to me and reaffirmed constantly that I made the right decision. I have not had one negative experience that said to me, oh, maybe this isn't for you. Nope, this is for me.
Yeah.
And I got goosebumps as I'm saying it, so it's true.
I did too.
That's
I
true.
did too. So you guys, so you really did your homework, really,
yes.
in terms of just making that decision,
Yes.
right? So let's get into the aspect of now you made the decision, right? And you're like, okay, whew, that's done. But you made the decision, as you said, now you feel good about it, and this helps. And I say this, meaning this sort of friendship that has developed. How did this start? You want to tell us first?
Well, it was suggested that when someone came to my house, it was Denise,
Okay.
to interview me.
And Denise is she is our director of hospitality here.
Right.
Yes.
And she said, I met a lady that's just like you. She has the same vim and vigor, and you've got to meet her. And when I finish here, I'm going home and I'm going to call her, and you guys have to get together. So she did that.
Okay.
We met and had
Dinner.
lunch.
Or dinner.
Lunch initially.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
lunch.
And then that turned into dinner when Joan joined us, and we just hit it off. We had lots to talk about, a lot of things in common, and all loved our lives. It was nothing. You know, it was. I agree with everything that they said about the house being too big and not wanting the responsibilities of that. And I, as I said to you earlier, I think that the nicest part of going in as senior citizens is that we know ourselves at this point. We know what makes us happy, what makes us the kind of people that we don't necessarily want to engender a better conversation with.
Sure.
And but everybody here is low-key, natural, authentic, willing, and happy.
I love it. And so that's your takeaway from the experience. And I'm curious, Susan, your takeaway. And I know you said, you know, we're seniors now. You don't like that term. What term do you prefer? And then how did that situation go down for you?
Well, in my mind, senior indicates old, and I'm not ready to be old. And I picked the Arbor because from what I was told by Jenny and Denise, this is a rockin' community. And right
It
now, while I can get it all in, I want to be part of that lifestyle.
Great. Yeah, and then meeting these ladies. So what was your perspective on that?
Well, I got a call from Denise, and she said to me, I just interviewed a wonderful lady, has a lot in common with you. As a matter of fact, we have a daughter, Joni and I, that have the exact same first name and the exact same middle name.
You're kidding.
So now we're really friends.
Wow. Okay.
Right, just
That was
coincidence.
Wow.
weird. Just
Right, so we met and we enjoyed it. Then when we had the luncheon at Seasons 52, we met Joan, and come to find out Joan is going to be my next door neighbor, and I'm elated. Right, so then we
all
made,
of these things started coming together.
Right, we
Yeah.
made a dinner date last week. We went to Farmer's Table, and of course we got to know each other even better, and we're friends.
Yeah, and we could see it when you all walked in. It was immediate. Your face started to glow. It was just like, oh, there's my friend, and it's like, when can we go out to dinner again? And now,
Right.
when you live here, you can go every day if you want to. What was your perspective on it, Joan?
Well, as I said before, I really was not looking
Yeah.
for a new life or new friends or anything, because I have a wonderful life and friends and everything. But I'm certainly open to everything. But as soon as I met these two, it just was
it's comfortable.
comfortable. It
Yeah.
just it just felt good. We really we're all kind, decent, nice people. I think intelligent, caring, and happy for the most part. I guess
Upbeat. Yep.
Happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
We look for the positives.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned this being a potential rocking community, right? That's why you wanted to be a part of it. So I do want to get your take on some of the things that really, again, you don't have a building to walk into, so it's really hard. You got to have, you've got to be,
Imagination.
yeah, have a good imagination to be able to come in and say, you know what, that's where I want to live, and you don't even have a place to go look at. So I want to know what it was that sold you on this particular community.
There he is.
In the background,
And,
you're talking about
yeah,
our executive
Eric,
director,
Jenny,
Eric
and Jared.
Francisi. Okay.
And I had not met Denise at that time, but
Okay.
I love her. She's my soft pillow. That's her job.
Okay,
She's
yeah.
going to be a troubleshooter,
Yeah.
and nothing could be more perfect than having her here. So she's just a wonderful addition. And
And the community itself, when you see, you got to see some of the video
Yes,
of
very
what you're
impressive.
going to be moving into.
Right.
What do you like most?
that I got an apartment on the first floor because I don't like elevators. I'm honest. Yes.
We're all on the
But-
first floor.
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
But
And the same model. I'm interrupting, I'm sorry. But the same model we all
This
chose.
is what friends do.
and
Yeah.
and then I'm very active, and I
Sure.
didn't move here to take. I moved here to volunteer
Yeah.
and to be very active in that and in that way. And after one of our lunches, Jared had come up to us and he said, "Do any of you play golf?" I said, "Oh my God! Thank goodness I still kept my irons and whatever." And then we can go and practice, do 9 holes of golf or what. He was just open to anything that came up, and I think, and they want to our input.
Yeah.
To what is going to interest us. I also love theater, and they said that they'll get us tickets and they'll take us and pick us up within the first 21 miles. That opens a whole new world to me because I don't like driving at night in the
Yeah.
dark.
Me too.
And okay, and so instead of looking at this as for the age-related people, I'm looking at this as a wonderful opportunity to open my life, certainly at night when I really don't go out
Yeah.
frequently because of those limitations. So I'm ready to rock and roll too.
Does it make you feel safe? Like, so it's just
Absolutely, much more secure. Yes,
Right.
and I love my house. Another reason that I chose to look at this was because each of my children, I had 2 married daughters and a stepson and daughter-in-law, and each one of them came to me within the last few months and said, "We really want to move their residences, one from Orlando to Colorado,
Oh, wow.
and another one to upstate Massachusetts." And the one that my stepson and daughter-in-law that lived right near me, I said lived, past tense, in Boca, decided they wanted to be closer to their triplet daughters and their families, so they moved to Chicago. And I said, "Self, it's your turn to watch out for yourself, and knowing that I will get the proper care as needed should things be different as down the line." So that was my reason, and I love Murakami. The whole atmosphere
Sure.
is totally different than the other places that I went to. 7 of them, just like you.
Yeah.
And they weren't just selling a product.
Yeah.
They were showing their hearts and the fact that they've been together, the rental force, and for at least 10 years, I think you said.
Yeah.
And that means something. I just felt the warmth. I felt the youth and energy. I was sold.
Yeah, and you want to be a part of it. And I love, you mentioned volunteering. I love that you want to play the piano for people at the community. There's a grand piano that's going into the dining room and in memory care as well. And I think that you're going to be very well liked when you get there.
Or hated.
No, I don't think so.
No, because I have a piano that's going in my living room.
Ah, okay.
Fortunately, they're on the first floor also, but at the other side. So that I'm hoping they won't be able to hear me.
Okay.
It's okay if we do.
Yeah, and yeah,
that's right.
And that's why you live by your friends, right? So then they're all in agreement. Well, Susan, so I'll ask you the same question. Why did you choose the Arbor at Delray?
Several of the reasons that Joni mentioned, what impressed me most was the experienced staff. Everybody has been here for a while. Everybody has been with the Arbor companies for a while. They're all experienced. They're not just walking in their first job and looking around and saying, "What do I do?" They all know what to do, and that makes me feel very comfortable.
Sure.
And it makes me feel warm and inviting. And this is what I want. Owning a big home and everybody's gone from it is a daunting experience. I mean, since I've signed the papers here, I've had to put in a new air conditioner.
Oh no.
I've had to put in a lot of new landscaping, because landscaping doesn't last forever. You got to
Right.
change it all. Everything, I don't want all that anymore. I want to pack my suitcase, come to the Arbor, and have fun.
Yeah, and you can do that. Now, let me ask you this. From a cost analysis standpoint, the things you just mentioned sound really expensive.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're getting like the most bang for your buck by coming to a place like this?
Well, I did a cost analysis on my own. It costs less to live here for what I live in a country club community. but still, I'm on my own. I cook all my own meals.
Sure.
Or I go to restaurants. I have a lot of friends, which is wonderful, but it's not saying I cannot continue having all these friends.
Right.
I feel that I will be very happy and comfortable here knowing that if my air conditioning breaks,
Yes.
I'll make a phone call and I'll say, excuse me, I've got a problem. Can you fix it?
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm moving here.
Yeah, ease of use and to enjoy, enjoy your life. You earned it, right? I think we've all earned it. And so the same question goes to you, Joan. Why'd you choose this community?
I guess I've always been a take charge, super responsible person.
Okay.
And I'm ready at this point in my life to not be take charge, super responsible. I really want an easier life. Excuse me. And I had to replace recently a dishwasher, and things went whatever. But I just don't want any of that anymore, and I don't need a big house anymore.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. But what made me choose the Arbor, initially, I was very turned off to really high-rise buildings. I didn't want that, and I didn't want an institutionalized setting.
Yeah.
I wanted something that had a more comfortable, homier kind of feel.
Yeah.
It was warmer. And the other thing is I wanted a rental, not a buy-in.
Sure.
So, there were a couple of things that just crossed other places off my list. I also like good food.
Yeah.
And
you wanted to be next to me.
oh, yes.
Oh, that's it.
Susan
That
knows.
goes without
That's it.
saying.
She's got it. She's got it. Yeah.
100%.
That was the clincher.
Yeah.
But it's just so interesting because I just came to this about 4 or 5 months ago. I said, you know what? It's time to move. Start looking, Joan. Friends said to me, family said to me, where'd you come to this all of a sudden? What?
Yeah.
I said, I just know it's time.
That's
And that's me. When something feels right, I just do it. And then, of course, the only person I really met initially was Jenny. And she's a sweetheart, an absolute doll.
Yes.
And I just connected with her right away. And then, of course, I met the rest of the staff here, and they're all great. You just feel like you're coming into part of a family.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're really going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
So that's it.
When you have one of the head people right there come out in the pouring rain.
Yes.
I had an umbrella. I had a raincoat. Leave your umbrella in the car. I'm going to take you to the building, to the trailer.
Yeah.
That to me,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're
Yes,
going to
we
talking
did.
about Eric Francisi, the executive director, and we're talking about people, Jenny, Eric, you're talking about all these people that when you walk in the door here, you're going to meet them, and then they're not just going away. Once
Right.
they put their money down. I'm gone now. No. It's they're there when the building opens. Those are the faces you're going to see every day. So it's good to hear that feedback, right, about our staff and our members as part of the Arbor company that they are making it feel like home before it's even completed. Like it's still under construction. It still feels like kind of home for you guys.
It's not just their job.
Yeah.
It's part of how they are.
Sure.
And that means a lot to people like us.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Something else comes to my mind because it was a question that people in my family and friends had asked me when I went to some of the meetings and some of the lunches, whatever. They said, "Is it a very old community?"
Yeah.
Right.
I said, "No, it seems to be very young and vital." Age-wise, we're older certainly, but it seems to be a very young, vital kind of community. I said, rarely is anyone with a cane or a walker. Some people are certainly. That's
Yeah.
okay, but it's not that. It's not that we're seeing
They're vital people.
an older. Yeah, it doesn't feel like an old community. It feels like my contemporaries. And as I say, I don't feel old, even though I'm proud of being old.
Right.
Right.
It's
So the age is just a number at this
It's just
point.
a
It's
number,
really how
right.
you
Correct.
feel.
Well
Yeah.
said.
Yeah,
Awesome.
100%. So, I know that this is your first, for all of you, it's the first time you're moving into a community. So, you have a lot of questions. How's this going to be for me? What's this going to be like day to day for me? Is this going to be okay? Am I going to be fine with it a year from now? What are your biggest concerns, and do you think that those are even concerns anymore for you? We can start with you, Joan.
Well, it's interesting. I'm trying to, it sounds silly, but my biggest concern right now is setting up my office in my second bedroom and the furniture for it.
Sure.
Because what I have now in my house with the files, with everything, is a built-in.
Yeah.
So I can't take that with me, and it wouldn't work anyway. It's just not the same size and everything, you know. So dealing with that, and the other is we have to get counter heights chairs
Yes.
for the island in the kitchen.
Yes.
three
They
of them.
have them. They have them.
Yeah, right. So I've been looking because I want to swivel, and you know, et cetera, et cetera. So these are the kind of things that I
Those
get
sound like
obsessed with.
easy fixes, though.
Yeah, I mean, no
that's
big
pretty
deal.
good. Yeah.
But I feel like it's everything I hear just makes me feel like it's right. It's the right place.
Okay. Great. Susan, what about you?
Well, now that I've chosen the Arbor, one side of me is very content and happy. The other side is packing. From a
Yeah.
3,600 square foot house to an
Sure.
1,100 square foot apartment. And it's not as easy as
Yes.
one may think.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best, trying to get rid of stuff,
Yeah.
trying to be imaginative to donate. What am I going to take? What am I going to give away? And that to me, right at this moment, is a big concern. However, my children are coming starting Friday, and they're going to help me make these decisions. And hopefully, little by little, I'll get rid of everything.
Yeah. And you know what the cool part is that you'll be here, so when others start to move in or make that decision and they come in and they come for a tour, when it's finished and they see you, you're going to be able to help them out because they're going to have questions and you guys will have all the answers. What about you, Joni?
I just put things in those huge black garbage bags, the real big ones that you could cut up a tree and put it in there, and so I do weekly excursions to Goodwill or helping with women that have that are looking for jobs or
Sure.
have questionable finances and stuff. Like I wanted to go to that kind of thing, so I'm doing it little by little. My kids don't want that stuff. After my husband passed away, I took over his closet besides my closet because, and I've got my daughter's the wedding gown from her wedding,
Wow.
or the mother of the bride, I should say, wedding,
Me
and
too.
everything means something to me. They're taking on a life of their own. I don't know why.
Right, it's the
And
emotions.
everything is an emotional
Memories.
thing. Yeah, and
Yeah.
what the children and grandchildren have made
Connections.
out of silly putty for you.
Yes.
So somewhere there'll be a place for them, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be in my new
Right.
digs. And the biggest problem is that my piano is coming with me. So
We have made that very clear. That is not coming.
that
so.
comes before a bed or a couch or anything. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's a good kind of problem.
Yeah.
With all of this, I think the whole answer to everything, if you want to simplify it, is attitudinal. These are good problems to have.
Yeah.
That's
Number
right.
one, to be able to live in a place like this. How many people have that
That's
opportunity?
right. You're very blessed.
I got chills, so I know I'm telling
Yeah,
the
blessed.
truth.
Aw.
That's right.
And I just feel that these are minor inconveniences.
Yeah.
Right, and
You know?
all be worked out
Yeah.
when we move
Right.
here.
And I also think in the health department that with a positive attitude, you can keep little problems little and manage bigger problems better than someone else that's going to sit and worry and,
It's great advice. I
About
feel like
it.
I got to write that one down. It's easy to forget sometimes, but as you said earlier, we're experienced now. We know what we like, we know what we want, and
Right.
we go after it. We don't waste any time on the nonsense, right? Joan, you wanted to add?
I was going to say one of my biggest problems in terms of the move also is coming from a big place to a smaller place, and my whole family, including me, there's a lot of artwork, needlepoint,
Right.
paintings, oil, watercolor,
Wow.
sculpture. I mean, that is to me the biggest problem. Where am I going to put all this? And I have the bedroom. I have the mirror from my parents' bedroom set from 1938 that I just love, and I got to find a place for that too. So there's just certain. These are things that
Right.
I mean, big problem, big deal, you know.
Yeah,
but-
but still, I mean, it's a big deal to you, though. So it is
Yes.
a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Because again, there are things, but there we have emotional attachment to
Yes.
things.
To everything.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, as we start to wind down, I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed this. We talk about engagement, and I think we have the great food, and it's a beautiful community, and the pool, and the cabanas, and all this great stuff. But I think what sets apart somebody who maybe is in independent living on their own, they live in a home, as opposed to a place like this, is the interactions with other people and how we need sort of that human interaction, right, to stay young and to thrive. What are you guys most looking forward to on the engagement side of things? You know, we talk about learning languages and going to the Murakami Gardens. What are you most looking forward to, Joni?
Well, I have learned through the pandemic to be with me instead of a bunch of people and out for lunch and dinner. I've been very careful. So this is like a coming out for me.
Okay.
And as the pandemic lessens temporarily, then I'm doing more, and that'll all be available to me. But I'm not rushing into join every organization. I'm taking my time and prioritizing of the things that I really want to do, and it's important to me to give back.
Yeah.
That's just me, and it's selfishly because it's very rewarding for me.
Yeah.
And there are art classes and stuff. You know, we'll pick and choose, and I have lots of friends, as both of these girls do, outside of here, and as my neighbor and very dear friend said, don't think you're getting rid of me just because you're moving 4 minutes away.
She could come anytime. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was good to know that, as you said today on TV, that our friends are welcome to come.
Very welcome
at
to come.
any time for meals or activities, and through the club. So through the club.
To hang out by the pool.
Right,
You know,
right,
yeah,
right.
absolutely. And they're always welcome.
It's all good. It's all good stuff, and I can't wait.
Awesome. Susan.
Well, like Joni, I want to get involved, but slowly, pick and choose what I like, and I certainly want to help anybody to settle in and to give the knowledge that I've obtained to them, and just enjoy life. Whatever we have left, just enjoy it with a smile on our face, and live life.
Yeah. Great. Great advice. Joan.
Well, I agree with my new friends here, everything they said. And it's so interesting because I haven't painted in, I can't believe how many years.
Wow.
And when I heard that one of the women who's going to be with us is a retired art professor, and she's going to do a painting class, and I said, and at first I thought, no, I'm not into that anymore. And all of a sudden, in the last week or two, I said, you know what, I think I'm going to paint again.
Wow.
I'm going to try it. All of a sudden, it's coming to me. The other thing that I haven't mentioned is that I happen to be very spiritual.
Okay.
And I belong to, from I guess the 70s, 80s on, and even here, to different spiritual groups and all. And I'm hoping, if it's meant to be, that there will be a community of people here that might be interested in connecting on that level also.
Yeah.
If
Like-minded, and we have them at many Arbor communities, actually, groups that come together that have, share in the same faith or the same background, and I know many people who were very excited that over COVID, when they really couldn't get out and about, that the services were streamed into them.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
We had the same thing.
Yeah. So well, ladies, I think that this has been eye-opening and fantastic. And if somebody's watching now, and they see themselves, perhaps male or female, in you just a little bit, and they're interested in coming to this community, what would you tell them? And we'll start with you, Joni.
Just to enjoy who they are and what they have become, and to really, from the toes up, to enjoy all the good stuff that comes our way, to really appreciate it. The young people just take it for granted so often, and we've all had our bumps and bruises, and just appreciate every single second, because they're precious.
Yeah. Susan.
And I made a wonderful decision.
Yep.
I love hearing that. That was
I
excellent.
think of people who are deliberating whether to make a move, like the three of us did. The place to come, in my opinion, is the Arbor, because it's a fun place. We're not going to sit around and talk about sad things. It's upbeat, and we're going to enjoy ourselves, for, as I say, for the time we have left, and that's how we feel.
Perfect. Joan, you get the last word.
if you want a place that you're going to be comfortable with and feel like it's a class act, and that's kind of the thing that always comes to me. The Arbor really feels like a class act on every level. The amenities, the food, the decor, everything, and the way you're treated. And if that's what you want, then it's the place for you. If it's not what you want, if you want a more institutionalized, impersonal kind of setup, then maybe it isn't the place for you.
Lots of those.
So, and then just count your blessings and be, as I feel, I'm so happy that I could be here.
May I add one very important
You
thing?
can have the last
Oh,
word,
thank
Joni.
you so much. I am not moving alone. There's a little 2-pound, 6-ounce child that is coming with me, Gabby Joy.
Uh-oh.
And yes, she's a Beaver Terrier, and she's going to, like I'm going to meet lots of new friends. She is too, because this is very pet friendly. Not only that, but they are building a dog park on the premises,
Right.
with a washing station, I believe. And so that just encapsulates the feel of this whole place. It's elegantly casual. We all know who we are. And as I say, what you see is what you get. I hope you like me. If not, move on, and there'll be somebody that fills the bill for you.
That's
But
right.
so I'm not, this is not just for me, but Gabby Joy is going to welcome you with open
Open
can't
paws.
say arms.
Open paws. Of course she will. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because it is a pet friendly, and you know that she's going to make lots of friends just like you did. So, well, we certainly appreciate you ladies taking the time on this rainy day in Florida to battle through the rain, to get here today, to share your story and to tell us about this new friendship that you guys have made. So, Joni, Susan, Joan, thank you so much for being with
Thank
us.
you.
You're very
Thank
welcome.
you.
And these ladies have, I feel like they should be spokespeople for this community now. They've done such a wonderful job explaining all the reasons why they want to be a part of the Arbor at Delray. And if you are making that decision right now, or you're just learning about this community, you can head on over to www.arbordelray.com to find out more. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great stories of friendship. As you can see, they can't wait to call the Arbor of Delray home. It was a fun interview for me, and I am so glad that they put their trust into the Arbor Company. Thank you so much for being with us and for watching Senior Living Live. Have a great day, everybody.